Reverse pandemic. Introverts, how would you survive? So you have to stay outside rather than stay inside. Like how many people? If I could just spend time with my close friends, I would be fine. But large noisy crowds all the time would probably be deadly. Then we would be the ones making all the "I'm depressed because of the pandemic" threads. Well, that got heavy real quick. I guess I'll just die. I would find a bunch of introverts and hang out with them. We would all just have earphones on. We would be in a crowd, outside, and quiet. Edit. Wow, I woke up this morning to 250 notifications. Thank you for the awards. Being outside with other people or in crowds doesn't really imply constant social interaction. Simply being around other people is not an issue. I could sit in a cafe and play on a laptop / listen to music, whatever. Doesn't mean I have to socialize with them. There are people who get anxiety from being in crowds of people, but this is not necessarily specific to introverts, and not all introverts have it. The majority of introverts have to be around hundreds of people most of the day in school / work anyway. It's not something that causes us all to get depressed. We just tend to withdraw more from social interactions and spend more time in our thoughts. A lot of introverts spend more time at home, indulging in their hobbies such as watching TV, playing video games, reading books, etc. This habit would be hard to break and may cause significant distress for some people, kind of like a recovering addict would face, but not as severe. I am an introvert, no social anxiety. I would hate it, and after some time I would be angry at everyone and nasty. Yeah, fair one. Well, heck, that would be really unpleasant. This actually gave me a pretty visceral negative reaction thinking about, and I'm not even that terribly introverted, I think. If that's how unpleasant staying in has been for some folks, I definitely feel for them. I have no idea. I hate being in crowds. If it seemed like people were drinking a lot while in isolation, being in a group is the best way to drive everyone to drinking. Everyone just becomes raging alcoholics. Hopefully, introverts, well, everyone, will have access to pandemic alcohol for these group gatherings. Oh, that's good. I would die of suicide before the 4th month. No, that's rough. Don't want to hear that. Nope. I would die. I guess I have seen other answers that have had more creative solutions and such, which could be short-term solutions, but I sense people's energy, even if they do nothing. Don't talk to me, have earphones on, etc. So it would only go so far. Reverse pandemic would be the end of me, which now makes me think about the immense suffering of extroverts during this pandemic. Before, I was more like, they can get over it. It would be exhausting. I can't even tolerate my best friends for more than one day, and we're all pretty chill. I need my alone days. I'm terrible with conversation and will probably just tag along to everything they do just in exchange to not need to talk with others. But I'll get aggressive if I don't get my own time, so it probably won't end well for me. I don't mind crowds as long as I don't have to interact. The person at a party reading a book. I was sick in my mouth a little just reading this. I don't think I could handle it. So I have some sensory issues when it comes to being out in public. I tire out very quickly unless I'm in the right setting. Also, if I'm outside, it's almost a guarantee that I will be miserable in a few hours since the sun hurts my eyes, and if it's cold that time is drastically lower. Funnily enough, anime conventions and the like actually relax me more than anything because I feel like I'm surrounded by my people who share prosperity or propensity, don't know what that means, for being isolated, and also I don't have to mask as much and can relax and be myself. It's kind of sad. I wish you could be yourself more. It's rough. So in an unconventional situation where I have to be surrounded by people or else I die, I'd hope for conventions, or I'll just sit in my house and suffer. That was a pretty tough one to read, that one. The trick to surviving as an introvert is to find people who don't suck you dry of energy. Very useful information there. They are rare and hard to find, but it's usually the best thing in the world when you find them. So to survive your reverse quarantine, I'd have to make sure that the majority of my time was spent with these types of people. You had to put it this way for me to truly realize how hard it must have been for the extroverts all the while. Yep, eye-opening for sure. Did you know that you can in fact be an introvert and still have great social skills? I am an introvert who can wear the pants of an extrovert when I need to. I worked as a waiter for almost a decade, striking up cold conversations with strangers. I just simply value and recharge with some time to myself. Like it. Not everyone has it that easy, but good for you, man. Introvert equals you recharge alone. Extrovert, you recharge with social interaction. It has absolutely nothing to do with how adequate your social skills are. I've known extroverts with horrible social skills. I am an introvert with amazing charisma, so I'd adapt just fine because being an introvert has nothing to do with social anxiety. Strong opinions there. Let's have a look. I would probably find people who I know very well and get on well with, like friends and relatives. If I would need to find complete strangers, then I would certainly be dead. Wow. Gets serious real quick, these. I honestly don't know what I would do in this hypothetical situation, but I'd hate it. Step 1. Organize an introverts group with social agency as a goal. Step 2. Meet at agreed upon rental locations. Step 3. Don't interact, just be nearby. Naturally, this would supplement times one does have the energy to go be social. That was good. Curious lycanthrope. So a place where everyone can game with headphones on. You don't have to play the same game or talk or play together, but you're close enough to be safe. There we go. Smart thinking. You leave your groups only when you socialize with family or friends. When exercising, you do so with people who want to or have dogs that need walking to. I like it. Smart thinking. What you're describing is school and work, which we already forced to deal with. Yeah, but if you've got a dog, that's what makes things so much better. I have so many useless questions. Do you have to spend all day outside, like 24/7? The housing market would collapse. Where would people sleep? I guess everyone becomes homeless. You wouldn't even be able to put up a tent since you would be inside a tent. How would working work since you wouldn't be able to go inside of a building? Nuclear explosions would be intimate since all the nuclear power plants would have to be evacuated, even regular ones. Why, if you were on a boat and you went under the deck, then you would be inside? What prevents the illness from going through areas that don't have doors? This person has thought about this. This is an introvert right here. He has thought of all of these questions and scenarios. I could literally go on for hours about this. Sorry for ruining the fun. Yeah, this is an introvert. If you align with this, you're probably an introvert. I love it. How bad is the thing you get sick of? Does it hurt a lot? I'm trying to balance my options here. Again, another introvert for sure. As someone already said, find other introverts and everyone bunch tighter, but each one with earplugs sit on his place. I'd either bore or annoy the shit out of anyone very quickly, so I'd set up a business specifically for other introverts so they can all sit and post on Reddit in a safe group for £5 per hour. I like it. I would probably go somewhere that would allow me to people watch, find a spot out of the way and read or otherwise occupy myself. That's a good one. I would definitely bring headphones and earplugs. Just go to a bunch of concerts, no interactions necessary. Good thinking. The stress may cause emotional outbreaks, either in shouts or violence. But realistically, the introverts will find each other and form a group of silence and will probably stab any extrovert trying to engage them that doesn't take no for an answer. That goes serious real quick. Not an answer, but a potential backstory. There's a virus with a 100% chance of death going around and it's very contagious. There's a much less contagious one going around that prevents the death of the first one. So everyone has to track who has the good one and get it from them. Oh, crazy, crazy. Bulky cry. 4 weeks of intense hell followed by 3 weeks of regular hell followed by a couple of weeks of mild suckitude followed by blessed normality and even more intense gratitude to Jacinda Ardern than I already had about the whole deadly viruses are scary thing. That was good. Big Marvel fan. I'd just walk around with my girlfriend and just make sure I don't get cut off from her. Edit, I do that anyway. There you go. So not much would change, like it. Honestly, the worst part would be having to be around people who love it. Oh, you're right. You're so right. You know how there's the anti-scientist people who continue to meet outside without masks during the pandemic? That would be me, still inside, despite putting myself in danger. Laugh out loud. I'd find a crowd of introvert people where we could all stand 2 meters apart, apologise to people for them bumping into us, yes, and quickly look at our feet, if God forbid we made eye contact. Yeah, this is spot on. I survive by employing the same I know no one here at this party and the conversation dries out after 2 sentences technique I've been using for 30 years and slowly fade into the background. Yep, so true. FML, I have no social skills. Right folded. It's already happening. That's why Prozac Nation is a thing, but taken to such extremes, it would be a real wreckage. 0 software gets deployed. 0 hardware gets fixed. You're right. It's a bug infestation. Personally, I wouldn't thrive, but I suppose occasional mindless shopping will get me by for a while. There we go. That's literally the world all of the time there isn't a pandemic happening. Yeah, you're kind of right. Go out, go to work, have to deal with humans, go home, sleep, repeat. And if you don't do it, you earn no money and die. This is so true. So true. Dude, did it really not click for you that that's just how life actually is for most every introvert? You have to go out and cope with other people and crowds to shop, to work, to live. Imagine, screw imagining, we bloody live it. Introverts are the best. Go to the bar, sit there, put your music on and get drinks. They'd probably do something where like there's a free park or something and encourage supporting all businesses, eating out, sales at a lot of stores, more people buying and selling stuff really, yeah? At the same time though, video game companies and subscription services would be down. You're right. Just find the right people and have clear rules when to talk and when to socialize. Think it's the same way as now with Zoom meetings, Zoom dates, etc. Just make rules and agreements. Also, agreeing on who gets to wear the warm jacket and what's not because it's freezing. Thunderlife 92. I think it would actually affect everyone pretty badly. I think the main issue is if you have a job or go to some form of social gathering, even if you ultimately do not talk to people. I went way too fast there, my bad. Yes, because crowds are awesome. In a crowd, I can vaguely interact with, like, smile at people, but not actually expend one-on-one energy, which is what drains me. Oh, it's a good new approach. I like it. Now, if I had to move into a co-worker's house and she was pretty chatty, that would be hard. Being an introvert doesn't mean you can't have fun with people or that you can't enjoy a great social life. It just means you recharge internally rather than externally. You just find your own peace and solace being observant and chipping in on conversations when you want to. I would just die. Wow. I feel like there's two types of introverts. I'm such an introvert. I only go out with my friends on the weekends. I've been out of the house for 3 hours and I want to die. Yeah, the different extents. I see a lot of people on number one on dating apps, and it's led me to believe that girls think it's a cute quality to call themselves introverts, even if it's followed up with all the things they like to do, like traveling, going to concerts, hiking, etc. If I go out to a place with a crowd, I'm mentally exhausted after an hour. If I'm out for long periods of time, you know what I'm thinking about? Going home. Being an introvert isn't a cute quirk, it's a complex. Introversion is not the same as being shy or shy of having anxiety. There's many introverted people that you would mistake for extroverted people. It's more about the social battery and the need/endurance for it. That out of the way, I prefer time with myself and I get tired of social events quite quickly. But as even the most introverted of introverts by itself, I can enjoy social events, and if I have to, I just do it. It's simply not pleasant and it can build up stress, but once more, if you think an introverted can't be in a crowd, I'm introverted and I have worked in sales, trying to attract customers and failing, of course. I was the mascot in the summer, screwing around with a costume, pictures with kids, not a fun ride in the summer heat. Heat strokes are no joke, but we got away with beer and a waiter. There we go. That was good. I would say the pre-pandemic world was like that to a certain extent. Obviously, not government mandated, of course, but there's a huge pressure on introverts to go against their instincts. At work, with friends and family, the world seems more geared towards extroverted personality types in general. Saying that, I understand it and must be really hard to many extroverts now. Create a colony of introverts. Yes, an army. That's what you need. Sunburnt bitch. I'd form a group with other introverts. We can socialize when we want to, and take quiet time when we need to. It's kind of what I do with the guy I'm seeing. We can spend several days together in the same room and not get tired of each other because we take introvert time when necessary. Yep, spot on. Ask Reddit. Why do misinformed people think introverts are loners? Oh, we went there. And your name is Dumpster Slut 69, so not a strong name.